Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Vandana madam.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Seth Hirachand Mutha Shaikshanik Trust, Seth Hirachand Mutha College, I, Dr. Vandana Vijayvargiya, welcome all the dignitaries, faculty members,
Hello.
dear students, and other participants in this webinar, that is Anthropogenic Actions and its Impact on Environment and Measures on the occasion of World Environment Day, that is 5th of June. World Environment Day is also called as Eco Day, and this day was established by United Nations General Assembly in the year 1972 on the first day of Stockholm Conference on the Human Environment. The aim behind celebrating this day is encouraging worldwide awareness and action for the protection of our environment. With this background, I request respected Principal Ma'am Shruti Vaikar Ma'am to deliver her speech. Over to you, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Vandana. Very good afternoon to all of you and warm welcome to Seth Hirachand Mutha Shaikshanik Trust Chairman Mr. Prakash Mutha, Resource Person Ms. Jaya Wagmare, Principals, teachers, non-teaching staff, all invitees, and my dear students. Wish you all very happy World Environment Day, which is on 5th June. That is yesterday. Yesterday, Environment Club of our college had organized science quiz competition for the students and webinar on Manashakti by Miss Pradnya Kadam. Environment Club of our college always organizes varieties of programs to make students understand the importance of environmental balance and different methods to maintain it. Voracious activities of human beings to utilize maximum resources of nature has totally imbalanced the nature. The effect of the same is today we have lockdown at home for the safety, of course. Earthquakes, cyclones, attacks of predator insects like locust, and of course, corona. A non living thing actually has stopped our day to day activities totally. These mistakes should not be repeated. Students, you are our next generations. You must take care of our Mother Earth. And we teachers, of course, are always with you. And for the same, today we have invited Madam Jaya, who is working tirelessly, doing lot of research to safeguard our environment. I'm sure you will get clarified all your doubts by her presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Today we have an eminent personality, as Madam said, Ms. Jaya Wagmare Madam with us. And she is the president and co-founder of JEST, that is Zoo and Environment Skill Training. Her research work is on Indian giant squirrels, and her so many research papers are published in reputed journals. So I request Madam to share her knowledge with us. Please, ma'am. And before that, one instruction is there for the participants that at the end of the lecture, chat box will be opened so that you can write your queries. Please, ma'am. Over to Jaya Magware, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear. And I'd like to request Vandana ma'am and Maya ma'am to just unmute
Okay.
yourself so that we can see her.
Yeah. Shruti ma'am, are you able to hear me, Shruti ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Right. Okay. Continue.
Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, madam, you can start.
Yeah. Honorable Trustee of Mutha College, respected Principal, teaching and non-teaching staff, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share a few
few of my life experiences with all my dear students. So I'll start with my today's PPT presentation, which is on anthropogenic actions, its impact, and on an individual level, what measures we can take. So I'll start my PPT presentation. Shruti ma'am, shall I?
Yes, madam, please.
Yeah. So 5th June 2020 World Environment Day. Theme is biodiversity. On my screen, I have shared two hashtags. Natural habitat matters. First one is hashtag natural habitat matters. And second hashtag is quality air, quality water, quality soil is equal to health, happiness, and prosperity. So, why we need to celebrate Environment Day? There is a reason behind it. Why? You'll get to know this during my PPT presentation. But first of all, I would like to share a few historical things about World Environment Day. World Environment Day is celebrated on 5th June every year. This concept was established in 1972 by United Nations during Stockholm Conference on the Human Environment, and it was first organized by into 1974. And the sole purpose is to encourage environmental awareness, and protection of our natural habitats. Each year, we select one theme and we give one theme, and it is celebrated worldwide. So, why that theme? To fetch our immediate attention towards its preservation. So this year's theme, 5th June 2020's World Environment Day's theme is biodiversity. Our today's PPT presentation's title is Anthropogenic Actions, its impact on environment, and what measures we can do on an individual level. First of all, before starting our today's main session, as our World Environment Day theme is biodiversity, I would like to introduce you few species which are part of our Earth. So what is biodiversity? Variety of life forms are found on Earth. Collectively, they are known as biodiversity. It includes flora and fauna. That means it includes plant and animal life. Biodiversity which is found on Earth, it is known as terrestrial biodiversity, and biodiversity which is present in seawater and in our oceans, it is known as marine biodiversity. So this terrestrial biodiversity and then marine biodiversity and their biotic as well as abiotic factors, they collectively known as ecosystems. So there are different types of ecosystems are present on Earth. Which are these ecosystems? We have a forest ecosystem, we have a desert ecosystem, we have a grassland ecosystem, we have a freshwater ecosystem, we have a mangrove ecosystem, we have a marine ecosystem. So right now, On this screen, you can see at your left hand side, one animal is there on this tree, on eucalyptus tree. This animal is Maharashtra state animal and it is known as Indian giant squirrel. At your right hand side, you can see Indian tree shrew. These both animals mostly spend their life in trees. Right now, you can see one dense forest at your left hand side, and at your right hand side, you can see one tree which is known as ironwood tree or Anjani in Marathi. Now, both pictures at your left as well as at your right hand side, both pictures belong to same tree species, and this tree is known as toothbrush tree or meswak tree, and it is found in saline soil. Aves, that means birds. On the screen at your left hand side above, you can see house crow. Below picture is of a rosy starling. Then at your right hand side, we have lesser flamingos. All these birds belongs to different habitats. Then we have butterflies here, which belong to class insects. This black color butterfly, above black color butterfly, is known as common crow. This middle butterfly is known as striped tiger, and then this butterfly is known as, I'm extremely sorry, the middle one is plain tiger, and this right one is striped tiger. Below that, over here at your left hand side down, we have blue tiger butterfly, and then at your right hand side, we have common mormons female butterfly. So right now you can see few reptiles. This particular lizard is known as Oriental garden lizard. Then at your right hand side, you can see Indian monitor lizard. Below, you can see Russell's viper. This is venomous snake. Then above, we have mud skipper. It is known as amphibious fish. Why it is known as amphibious fish? Because it can dwell in water also as well as on land also. Down at your left hand side, you can see one mite which is known as red velvet mite, and then we have a jewel bug. This scorpio is known as giant scorpio, giant forest scorpio, and this scorpio which is down, it is known as red Indian scorpio. This particular centipede is known as Indian giant tiger centipede. Then this frog is known as common Indian tree frog. At your left hand side, we have a bonnet macaque, and at your right hand side, we have humans. Now, all these collectively known as biodiversity. There are various types of ecosystems present, and in all those ecosystems, we have various floral and faunal diversity. I have introduced you few of them. So now I'm heading towards my actual presentation, which is on anthropogenic actions, its impact and measures at individual level. So when I say anthropogenic is nothing but things which are caused by or which are induced by humans. So whenever I'm saying human impact on the environment, I can also say it as, or I can also address it as an anthropogenic impact on the environment. There are various examples are there, but right now, today, in this particular session, we are going to focus on two anthropogenic actions. First one is anthropogenic metabolism, and the second one is anthropogenic biome. Now, what is anthropogenic metabolism? Metabolism of the materials which we receive from nature and metabolism of energy. Is togetherly we receive all these things from nature. Metabolism happens at individual level, it happens in household, and it happens at industry level. And this is known as anthropogenic metabolism. Now, what is anthropogenic metabolism? I will share few examples with you. So, right now on this particular slide, you can see raw material, manufacturing, distribution, purchase, consume, and then dispose. So, from market, what we do, we purchase goods. We purchase goods, we purchase products like kitchen accessories, beauty products, bags, clothing, tech accessories, stationery, various types of food material, books, bike, car, bicycle, jewelry, shoes. There are many more examples are there, and each and every one of us is aware of it. What are our needs and how we consume them, how we purchase them, and how we consume them. So, all these things, the end product comes from materials and energy, which we receive from few resources. What are these resources? So, down you can see these resources are sunlight, air, water, soil, wood, minerals, animals, coal, petroleum, manpower. And to get that end product, we have to construct few industries. And for the proper working of that industry, we need this above things. Sanitation, then comes transportation, habitation, and communication. I will share one very simple example with you. Right now, I feel that I should eat potato chips. So I'll go to the shopkeeper, I'll purchase one potato chip, and then I'll consume it. But the journey of that packet is not started there, is not started in that shop. So, first of all, to make that potato chip, we needed raw material which came from our agriculture fields. Then, that raw material went to the manufacturing companies. From manufacturing companies, it went to the distributors. From distributors, it came to few shops in which are present in my area. From that shop, so I went to one part. I do have so many shops in my area. So I went to one shop and I purchased one potato chip, and then I consume it. And whatever wrapper, or you can say packet, empty packet was left behind, I disposed it. I received that end product, but it has gone through various processes. So it has gone to various processes. For to fulfill my uh, need, what I did, I have been working very hardly. I get money after working hard. I have many things in my house. I have many accessories. I have many beauty products. I have bag. I have various brands of clothes with me. Then I have jewelry. Then I have whatever things I have. These are the examples which I'm sharing with you. So I want how this cycle actually consumerism cycle works. I am the consumer. I consume thing which comes from market. And what industry does, they make different brands So brand could be of clothing, of food chains, kitchen accessories, beauty products, bags, books, and then I want more stuff. I work hard. I purchase product. I crave for more product. I earn money. I work hard. I discard whatever leftover is there. And sometimes those goods or those products get accumulated at my house. You must be having various products at your house right now which you haven't used since 1 year. But to get that end product, I have gone through various processes. Industry has gone through various processes. So these various processes needs various natural resources. And this is a very vicious cycle you can see, that we purchase things, we use them, we dispose them, some of them get accumulated at our house. What are the advantages of consumerism? I am a consumer, I am spending money and purchasing things which I like. I consume them. Sometimes they get accumulated at my house. I choose my lifestyle. I get satisfaction after purchasing products. I get motivated to work hard, and it positively affects my career actually. But is that the only thing? Is this the only thing which is happening to me? When you have a broader aspect to it, what you'll see? You'll see that for this sanitation purpose, what I needed for the sanitation purpose. For sanitation purpose, what I needed, I have constructed one industry. I have to look after human sanitation as well as waste material or waste water which is coming from the industries and which we dispose into natural water bodies. Then comes transportation. Transportation of raw material till the manufacturing company, till the distributor, and then even I also travel. The transportation happens within city, district level transportation, state level, and then global transportation. So this transportation purpose, we utilize air transportation is there, transportation through water is there, then we use roads also. For the construction of industries, for the agricultural to get products, to get raw material, we need agriculture. For this purpose, I have used natural land, and for the communication purpose also, I need these various resources: sunlight, air, water, soil, wood, mineral, animals, coal, petroleum, manpower. So all these things come from biome. Now what is biome? Biome is nothing but a land, a natural land, which is characterized by flora and fauna. So we have a forest biome, we have desert biome, then we have grassland biome, we have tundra biome. So what actually these biomes do and what we do with them? I'm going to cover all these topics simultaneously. Every single thing in nature, in environment is interrelated. So simultaneously, I'm going to introduce you with few topics. So now what is biome? You have got to know that any natural land and the characteristic flora and fauna, plant and animal life which is present there, it is collectively known as biome. Now what is anthropogenic biome? Anthropogenic biome is nothing but a biome, a terrestrial biosphere, which is altered by, which is fragmented by, or which is disrupted by human. Or you can say terrestrial biosphere which is altered by human. Why we do it? Why we alter it? We alter it to fulfill our needs of food, shelter, transportation, sanitation, and communication. What we use, I have already covered that topic. So human settlements, industries, agriculture, rural development, livestock raising, what we use? We use natural ecosystems. So right now in this particular picture, in this particular photograph, you can see a creek. You can see water and you can see these trees. These are nothing but mangrove trees which are situated near creek water. So this completely is a mangrove ecosystem. What we have been doing since so many years, we have been dumping debris on our natural habitat and we are altering them. Why we are altering them? We are altering them to have a human settlements. You can see creek water, you can see mangrove, and in between debris has been dumped. And this is nothing but alteration of habitat. So what actually happens when we alter our habitat? So now already rainy season has started, and within 1 or 2 weeks, you can hear news from our news channels that what waterlogging has been started, and I hope everyone must be aware of last year's flood. How it actually happens? We take habitat from plants, we take habitat from water, and we make our own habitat there. We make our houses there, we construct our industries there. So whenever rainfall is going to come, what is going to happen? Water is going to take its place. So this mangrove is a particular type of an ecosystem. In this mangrove ecosystem, we have mangrove trees, we have faunal diversity which is dependent on this particular ecosystem. Whenever high tides are there, seawater comes to estuaries, from estuaries it comes to creek. So these mangrove roots, what they do, as well as the mud, what they do, they hold water. They have a capacity have a capacity of retention of water. So they hold water, and once water starts flowing backward, these mangrove roots as well as mud, they start slowly releasing water. And because of that, floods don't happen. But when we encroach this particular habitat, we alter it as per our needs, what happens? Those areas become flood prone. Now, this is habitat fragmentation. Habitat fragmentation happens for agricultural purpose, then rural development, as well as for hydroelectric power stations also, industries also. In this picture, you can see dense forest above and below, and in between you can see agriculture field. In my biodiversity slide, my first slide, I have shown you two examples of tree dwelling or arboreal mammals. One is Indian giant squirrel, and then another one is Indian tree shrew. There are few species of monkeys, langurs, and then slender lories. These animals are arboreal animals. They spend most of their time, most of their life in trees, and they eat canopy trees. and they need continuation of trees to travel. So whenever we alter these kind of habitats, dense forest, what happens? Their life, their population gets restricted to one particular area, which is again not good for their future generations, as when the habitat get restricted, what happens? It's like a threat to them, and their population could not increase. There is one recent example. Whenever we fragment any forest area, we're actually encroaching wildlife habitat, the habitat where wild animals are found. Currently, there is one situation is going on where you might have heard or you might have read this news about one elephant in Kerala, one pregnant elephant in Kerala. It died because of the explosion of firecrackers in its mouth. It was that firecrackers were placed into pine. I think it was placed into, I think, pineapple. Yeah, pineapple. As we have fragmented forest, these animals do not have sufficient food in their particular habitat, and that's why they come to human settlements to fulfill their need of food, and then these human animal conflicts happen. In this slide, the middle picture shows one tar road. At your right hand side, Kamba Talab is there. At your left hand side, you can see Ullas River. Actually, some plant bloom is there, weed bloom is there. Because of that, you cannot see river water, but it is actually Ullas River. This Kamba Talab is in between a Kamba village and Varap village. Actual size of this talab has been fragmented, and right now lots of waste material is dumped into this lake or talab. So this is the place where you can, from this place, behind this vehicle, you from this side you can enter to the talab. This is tar road in between, and few meters, just 2 minutes distance, you can see this Ulhas River is there. So I just want to show one example how we construct road for transportations. This is Kalyan Murbad Road. This is Kalyan Murbad Road. So many of our roads have gone through our national parks and our sanctuary areas. So again, we have entered wildlife habitats. We have destructed it, fragmented it, and we have made them as per our needs. So these are the photographs of roadkill. Whenever our vehicles go from this national highways, which are adjacent to or going through national parks and then sanctuaries, these kind of incidents happens. Not only this, if you're going to Google about it, you'll see that even rail accidents also happens in a larger scale. I'm again going to come back on those slides, but let me complete this particular topic now. We use pesticides and we use fertilizers in our agriculture. We already know what is our population. To support the demand of our population, our ever increasing population. What we do, we use fertilizers in our agriculture yield. So whenever these fertilizers contain nitrogen and phosphorus in it. So after water runoff with water, these fertilizers enter our natural water bodies. So once they enter our aquatic system, our other natural water bodies, what happens? They cause algal bloom, they cause bloom of other weeds which are very harmful to the aquatic ecosystem. As well as in this particular picture, you can see one surface layer of oil and other pesticides and fertilizers, because of which um, water is not visible. So sunlight cannot penetrate into this water and it affects aquatic life. So plant life, which is present in water, and animal life, which is dependent and which is also present in water. So the aquatic life cycle gets affected, it gets disturbed. Again, you can see this is Ullas River again. You can see the bloom of water, hyacinth and pistia. These are not important plants. At the same time, they have actually covered kilometers of Ullas River. So, because of this bloom, sunlight cannot penetrate water, and again, river ecosystem gets disturbed. I will come to this slide later on. Translation Marathi now. सुखना धरणात 100वर पक्ष्यांचा बळी. So you can see these fertilizers and pesticides have done. Whenever we use fertilizer to get good production, good agricultural production, what happens? It enters our water ecosystem, be it fresh water, that means lake, river, and then what happens is it destroys, it gets accumulated to the invertebrates and fish which are present in that water, and animals, predators which are dependent on those invertebrates and fishes. So that poison, pesticide poison, it's get accumulated in the body of fish, invertebrates, and whenever these predators, birds or other predators, they prey upon these vertebrates and fishes, then that poison get transferred to their body, and then this death happens. These are migratory birds. I have already covered one topic of transportation, and we use water to transport crude oil, then refined oil. And when these tanker ships, whenever this oil spills from the tanker ships, and it happens accidentally at that time, what happens? They contaminate our seas, oceans. It affects aquatic life, aquatic ecosystem. It also affects human health if that it is contaminating our drinking water. You can see one particular bird on this slide. This bird is known as pelican. You can see this bird is totally covered in oil. I have shared just one example. Whenever our fishermen enters seas or oceans for fishing purpose, and sometimes they just dispose their nets in the oceans or seas, and then different water birds, aquatic birds, or turtles, they get entangled. Their body parts can be cut because of it. You can see this turtle, which is again totally covered in oil. So industrial wastewater disposal in creek. Our rivers are creek ecosystems, and at the sides of our creek ecosystem, you can see various industrial establishment is there. So whenever these industries, what they do not recycle their wastewater in the company itself. There are some environmental laws, but it is not like that everyone follows it. And whenever this water get disposed in our natural ecosystems, it affects the biodiversity of that ecosystem. And when human consume something from that ecosystem, even our health get affected. Waste disposal on land. This particular photograph is taken at Copper Creek. You can see various plastic materials, garlands, and other plastic stuff is there. So once the high tide comes, this plastic goes to the water. You can see this photograph. Plastic, thermocol, and different waste material, disposed material is there in this Honey Creek. So with the high tide, this water goes to the creek, and then from creek to the ocean. It not only pollutes our water, it also pollutes our soil also. Stubble or craft residue burning. Now, what is crop residue or stubble? During each year, September and October, during the September and October, farmers from Punjab and Haryana, what they do, they burn their crop residue, whatever leftover material is there on their agricultural land, they burn it. And approximately 35 million tons of crop waste is burned during that process, during that practice. In Marathi, it is known as Rab. So, why they do it? Why they burn it? To lessen the manpower, and it actually has a low cost. We do not have to purchase machineries to cut this residue. So, why they do it? First of all, cost cutting, and the second reason is they have immediate second winter production. They have to take second winter production, and for that purpose, they just burn this residue. During this time, many hectares of residue is burning. Maybe last year you might have seen this news on news channel. So when these farmers, they burn this residue or they burn this stubble, what happens? Clouds of smoke is enter our air, and then those clouds lessens our visibility and it causes accidents. You can see this photograph. When this smoke enters human respiratory system, it causes various diseases. At the same time, it causes skin diseases also. When they are burning this, they are not only creating air pollution, they are also creating soil pollution. When this residue gets burned, the upper layer also gets burnt, and various nutrients which are present on soil, it gets degraded, and soil quality soil becomes unproductive or soil quality lessens. Once the soil quality lessens, it cannot give the production what we actually needed. And again, for that particular purpose, we use more fertilizers. So this is actually a cycle. We are burning it. It is causing air pollution. It is causing soil pollution. Soil quality is getting degraded. Then to have a faster yield and to have good production, we use fertilizers. Again, these fertilizers, whenever these fertilizers get washed off and they enter our aquatic ecosystem, what they do, we have already seen it, what they do when they enter our aquatic ecosystem. Algal bloom happens, various weed which is not essential for us, it spreads out on lake ecosystem, on river ecosystem, and the flora and fauna which is present in that particular ecosystem, it gets affected and it affects that particular food chain or food web. This is actually a cycle. So we have seen advantages of consumerism. I'm again going to the slide where I can see those advantages. So we are consumers, we purchase these products, we earn more money, we work hard, we purchase a few more products, we discard them, and some of them gets accumulated at our places. What we get, our lifestyle changes, we get satisfaction after purchasing goods, we get motivated to do some hard work, and our job or our careers are positively careers it influences our careers positively. This is what we feel, but what is the reality? Reality is, because of our anthropogenic metabolism, raw material, then it goes to manufacturer, then goes to distributor, then we purchase them, we consume them, we dispose them. During this entire process, we use sunlight, air, water, coal, petroleum, some manpower is also utilized. Then we use animals also. So we are taking natural resources, we are altering them, we are altering habitats, we are encroaching habitats of other wildlife. Because of that, accidents are happening, human animal conflicts are happening. Then we are polluting our water bodies. Then for the better better agriculture, we use pesticides, we use fertilizers. Then soil gets polluted, we do not segregate our waste material at household level, we just throw it at natural water bodies. And what actually happens, because of all this mismanagement, because of this vicious cycle of consumerism, biodiversity has been decreasing, and it has reached to the point where we have to work very hard. Be it common human, layman, normal human being, which is not completely sensitized with this, uh, environmental preservation or conservation thing, they have to come together. Then there are few people who are sensitized one, or the people who know the importance of natural habitats. They have to come together, and we had to simultaneously work for this purpose of environmental preservation. Because what is happening, biodiversity, we are losing our biodiversity, be it floral and faunal, water pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, climate change. You have already witnessed one cyclone. Then humans have encroached other animals' habitat. Because of that, um, human and animal conflicts are happening. Adverse effect of consumerism on human mental and physical health. Togetherly, this is very right now you won't be able to see that connection with this end sentence, that adverse effects on humans mental and physical health, but it actually has uh, adverse effect on us. When this vicious cycle is happening, we anxiously, we desperately running somewhere, but we do not know that where we are running and where we are going to head. So during this process, during this COVID-19 pandemic, you might have got some time for yourself during this lockdown period, that you might have introspected that actually what I need. So during these 2 months, we were locked down at our home. We could not go out. We are not purchasing things, be it any product, be it food product. We are not visiting malls. We are not visiting cafes. Um, we are not purchasing any beauty products. Our cars and bikes are in front of our house. So, has anything changed in your life? Is it going smoothly, or you haven't consumed anything which you used to consume before lockdown? Is those things really mattered during this lockdown period? What actually mattered during this time? For this particular purpose, many of you might have introspected, might have thought critically, but we have to implement it. For that, self analysis is needed, and we have to take actions at individual level. Then only something will happen. So whenever I have some thought in my mind that I need to purchase something, you can take any example which you want. So I just get thought of purchasing something, then I have to calm my mind and I have to think about it. I have to think patiently. I have to observe my thoughts, that what I actually need. Then I have to examine my thought, and I should ask question to myself, is that really necessary? Can I borrow it from somewhere? So if I'm going to purchase any particular product or good, am I going to use that for a longer time? Maybe I'll use it for longer time. What will happen to that particular product in future? So I should conceptualize my need, and then in my mind only I'll skillfully apply that thought on my need, and then I'll come to the implementation. Then I'll come to the conclusion that I should borrow that, because I won't be needing it for a longer time. If I'm needing it for need it for longer time, then purchase it, but while purchasing it, I'll smartly do things, which things I'll come to that point later on. And then while purchasing that particular goods or particular product, I'll think about the end their disposal also. So during this lockdown period, we have got sufficient time. Our minds are really calm now. So we should introspect. We should think about life before lockdown, during lockdown, and once we come again to the normal life. How I can reduce my water footprint. That means whatever water I'm consuming on a daily level, how I can lessen that. Then, do I really need this stuff, this product, which I have purchased, but I haven't touched it since last year? What I'm going to do with it? Am I going to reuse it in some way or recycle it? I should think about my diet also. So there are various food products are there are various brands are there, but at the same time, I should think about water, how much water is needed to get the end product. Right now, whatever I'm sharing with you, these are really deep thinking. It is hard at initial level, but it is not impossible. Each and every one of us can do that. I have been doing it since my childhood, and I feel, and because of that, I can, very confidently, I can share these things with you. So, can I make some changes in my diet? Do I really need these kitchen accessories if I already have something in my kitchen? Do I really need these tech accessories? Should I smartly plan my modes of transportation? That means while traveling uh, somewhere where my friends are also going to join me. So can I go with them or can I tell them to come with me? That is carpooling. Should I go for public transportation more? When I look into my makeup kit, I can see some nail paints and then some lipstick and some other beauty products which I haven't, used for years, and they are still there, and some of them are half used. Uh, our ways of celebrating our festivals. But Purnima has happened. How we used to celebrate Vata Purnima before. Then after uh, the first women used to go to the tree and they used to worship tree there. Then they started purchasing branches and they started worshipping branches. Might some of you might have done that yesterday also, but is that needed? Eco-friendly, I should find some ways to celebrate my festivals in an eco-friendly way. We need to think about use of firecrackers. We need to think about creating Ganesh idols or any other deities idols with the help of Shadu Mati, Shadu sorry. Then if I'm reading a book in one particular room, for example, if I'm reading a book in my bedroom, and now I feel that after reading book for 1 hour, I should go and watch TV for some time. So I'll just put my book on my bed and I'll just go outside and just on TV. No, I have to switch off my fan, switch off my light, and then only I'll go to my living room. I should segregate waste material, be dry waste and wet waste, so that mismanagement will stop at my home level only. Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation has already started this initiation, and we are segregating our dry and wet waste. And what the Ghanta Gadi which comes to our home, we are giving our dry and wet waste separately. If wet waste management is possible at home, can I do that on my own? Should I suggest this to my society members, and can we do it togetherly in our society? I should take responsibility of my e-waste also, that is computers, TV, cameras, mobiles, which I'm not using. So for that, I need to find out ways. I need to get connected to the people, to the individuals who actually know that how I can, dispose this e-waste. For that, what I have to do? For that, I have to get connected to the individuals who are actually sensitive, eco sensitive, and they are sensitized, and they know that how this waste management happens. How I feel that many of you, everyone uses social networking. Each and every one of you must be aware of some person who does that. We need to get connected to them. Then on local level, we need to get connected to the organization, and we should have a better understanding of our life. There are few organizations which are very close to Kalyan Dombivli. We have Bombay Natural History Society, uh, Paryawaran Dakshata Mandal, Birds of Thane and Raigad District, Wildlife Welfare Association, Urja Foundation, Greenworks Trust, I Nature Watch Foundation, and Zest for Environmental Nurturing Foundation. These organizations are into environmental education, awareness, and research. You need to get connected. You should know your environmental laws. You should know your human rights so that you can shape yourself and you can go towards the sustainable development. These are the references. I have completed my today's session. If you have any queries, you can start asking those queries or questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. It was indeed a nice and informative lecture. And as initially I instructed,
Where is?
I request all the participants to write their queries in the chat box. All the participants, please write your queries in the chat box. We have 5 to 10 minutes for question answers. Please.
Madam, really good thing. You actually told us many things that we need to take care of. But do you think that all of a sudden, if we start telling students, they will listen to us?
Someone's audio, I think, is on because of that.
Yes, yes, we can hear you, madam. Yes, go ahead. I think this knowledge should be shared right from the beginning, means from the school time only we need to tell students, means that this should be somewhere included in the syllabus. Do you agree with me? Your audio is mute, madam. Just unmute it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I actually completely agree with you, and because of that only reason, I started working with school students since 2013, and still I work with school students. I do sessions for college as well as for general public also, but my real focus is on school students, and during my lifetime it is always going to be on school students, and there is reason behind it. And the reason is that we have to sensitize them at a very young age, and their lifestyle
Actually,
changes.
yeah, right. Actually, biology people, what we want to tell that is that see, for 11th and 12th, even we keep biology as optional subject, right? Instead of that, that should be made compulsory. And that environmental studies top is there, that is given as an optional one. Not, it is actually this one compulsory, but it is given grades. Now that subject should be given more weightage, so that people will understand the real importance of environment. Don't you think so?
I do agree with you, but at the same time, what I feel that environmental awareness and education should start from our homes.
Yes, right.
If we are doing something for grades and we are doing something for marks, then we are not going to implement those things.
Okay. Yeah, that is
I
true.
know few. Actually, there might be few people who might have have received good grades in these subjects, but when it comes to their personal life, are they following those things?
Yeah, that is also there, right? Yes. Almost viewers have understood the topic well. It's really a big topic, huge topic. Actually, day-to-day activities should be included in that. I think, yes, Vandana ma'am, you can start the next proceedings.
Sir बोलेंगे मैम. Hello.
Uh, just
We
ask.
have okay. Our chairman sir has just joined with us. I request Honorable Chairman sir to please say few words. Please, sir. Over to you, sir. Mutha sir.
Sir is saying you can continue the things. Okay.
Hello.
Madam, continue, madam.
Okay, okay, sir. So I request Dr. Maya Joglekar, Madam, HOD of Science Department, to propose vote of thanks. Please, ma'am. Over to Maya Joglekar, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon and happy World Environment Day to everyone. Actually, it was yesterday, but we are celebrating today. I myself, Maya Joglekar, on behalf of Seth Hirachand Mutha Shaikshanik Trust, Seth Hirachand Mutha College, and Environment Club, I extend my sincere thanks to today's speaker, Ms. Jaya Vagmare, ma'am. Ma'am, it was really very informative and a good presentation and very hard subject. Actually, you explained in very easy language. I think everybody will be agree with this. I extend my sincere thanks again to you, and I wish a bright future for your
Correct.
coming life or coming your research work. And I extend my sincere thanks to our respected chairman, Shri Prakash Mutha sir, for his support. And I extend my sincere thanks to our respected principal ma'am for her guidance and support. And of course, thank you very much to all members of Environment Club for the technical and positive support. And of course, thank you very much to all viewers, participants, and students. Because of you, your presence made this event successful or this webinar successful. Thank you very much again. Over to Vandana ma'am.
Okay, here we conclude our session. Thank you so much to all of you, all the
Thank you, ma'am.
participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.